Victor Axelsen is undoubtedly the best males badminton player in the world right now. He is the reigning Olympic gold champ, world champion. He wins countless titles. He has been ranked #1 in the world for 110 weeks as of this filming and has been ranked #1 59 consecutive weeks. He's such an outstanding player. No one can even come close to him, which is kind of the problem. Hey guys, Badminton Becky, an American living and playing badminton in China. Please, if you could, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to get 10,000 subscribers this year, and I'm nowhere close, so I need your help. Thank you very much. First off, no shade to Victor in this video. I mean, he's #1 and he fully deserves it. I mean, he's been a top player for a long time, so we've seen him go from like a decent player with many weaknesses to a top player with seemingly no weakness anymore. You can tell he's worked on all aspects of himself, like from not only his gameplay, so much so creating his own training camp to help him improve the most he can, but he's also increased and improved his nutrition, his mental health, his mental game. With steely determination and focus, he has really worked to improve himself, and we've seen his improvement over several years, and he, you know, deserves all the accolades in the world for being so determined to improve himself on so many levels where other people maybe just work on their physical aspect. And as a tall Dane, he had to forge his own path. There's not a lot of people he could copy from. And as a result, he has become a truly outstanding player, which no one can even come close to these days. Which is kind of the problem, because as much as he is an amazing player, he's kind of boring to watch. Like, I'm not a sports person. I don't watch a lot of pro sports or anything, but I do know for sports to be interesting, there has to be tension. And these days with Victor, there's no tension. Aja and I, we were just watching the Malaysian Open finals. And while Victor was playing, we were just playing on our phones. We like maybe looked up from time to time, but mostly we just sat playing dumb little games on our phone waiting for the next game. Because what's interesting to watch when he wins 21-6, you know? We looked up from time to time. He would be doing an amazing smash or amazing defense or whatever. At one point I just said, woo liao, it's like boring. And my boyfriend was like, because there's no tension and there's no excitement. I mean, even at one point, the announcer, Jillian Clark, she said something like, you know, his opponent, Japanese player, was playing some of the best badminton, but she said it doesn't look like best badminton when you lose so quickly. So it's like not fun for viewers to watch. There is other dominant teams in badminton right now, like mixed doubles, Zheng and Huang. They dominate pretty much every competition and they will win pretty much every tournament. But their games have tension. Their games have excitement. You know, the Japanese pair is right behind them and they don't win by so much. So you do always kind of tune in and you're like, is today their dominance going to end? And you're nervous while you're watching it because it seems like the opponent does have a chance. And that makes for really exciting games and that makes for fun to watch. But being so dominant and winning by 10 or more points every game, like in the finals, you know, like the opponent is incredibly strong. Whoever makes it to the finals of a, you know, super series or any badminton tournament is truly an amazing player. But when you get beat by so many points, it's just boring to watch. And as a female player, I hate to admit this, but for any sports to grow, men's singles is where kind of the focus always is. In any sort of sport, we know the McEnroes, we know the Roger Federers, the GOATs of badminton are all men's singles. And so it is kind of the responsibility of the men's singles category to attract the eyeballs and to attract people to the sport. And with Victor being so good and so untouchable, I'm not sure that he's doing that. Even men's singles players that might watch for inspiration about how to improve their own game, like Victor has very unique circumstances like his height and his mentality and his psychology and everything. And even Victor has admitted that everything he's done and all his techniques that he's comes up with is to help him and his physical body, his psychology, not to help other people. So I think even other men's singles players can't learn a lot from watching him because he is so unique. And his improvements and his developments have never been a secret. You know, he's been very open with his training and what he does. And if people could easily follow him, they would have already. but it's all unique to him, so it doesn't even really help out other players, much less strangers to the game. I can't help but think if Victor had a arch nemesis on the court, you know, Lee Chong-wei to his Lin Dan, that would attract a lot of people. We love the rivalry, we love the tension, we love rooting for an underdog, and right now there's just none of that in men's singles. And I think, oh, are you guys looking at this super cute badminton court blanket, fleece lined blanket behind me? Are you admiring it? Well, you can go to today's sponsor, Dragon Badminton, link below, to get your own, as well as many other super fun badminton items. And another thing that brings more people to the game is personality, like McEnroe. You know, maybe I'm dating myself, but that guy was so explosive, so angry. Like even I would watch a tennis game, which I think tennis is super boring, but I just wanted to watch him if he would freak out. When in badminton, there's Kevin and Marcus. Kevin is such a sassy personality, and he always like taunts his opponents when he feels really confident. And it's so much fun to watch. Like, obviously, I don't play men's doubles. I don't care a lot about men's doubles, but if there is a Kevin and Marcus game, I am watching that game. I will watch older games just to see how sassy and how much attitude he has on the court, and it's so fun. But Victor doesn't have that. You kind of get the feeling that he's like prone to anger and prone to outbursts, but he also has done a lot of work on his mental health, and he seems to really be much more calm these days and kind of like in the zone. You know, when he won Olympic gold and he just went from like this calm stoic face to like instant tears, it was kind of shocking because of course winning Olympic gold means a lot, but I didn't know it meant so much, and I didn't know his emotions were like right there just ready to come out because he kept such a calm demeanor. And you know, that's a testament to him working on his mental game. We do know that you should take emotions out and you should try to be as calm as possible while playing the sport. But it doesn't make it fun to watch. He doesn't have angry outbursts, but he also doesn't really have joyful, fun outbursts. No one would call Viktor Axelsen a light, joyous player. It was really in contrast in the recent Malaysian Open when right after Victor was men's doubles, and it was China versus Indonesian teams. I was not familiar with either of them. I didn't know any of their gameplay. I wasn't rooting for any team, but it was a super fun game to watch. Aja and I, we put away our phones and we focused on the game because it was a very close game. It went to a decider. One of the Chinese team members was kind of just laughing and smiling the whole time, and it just looked really fun. Like even when he was losing or when he would try something or his opponents did something really good against him, he would kind of smile. And it just kind of gave a joyous fun to badminton that I think some people who are watching who maybe don't play the sport being like, well, that looks fun. Like maybe I should try that. That's really great. And I think Victor's games, you don't get any of that. I read a story once about the original Superman, how back in the day when he was first created, Superman didn't have any weaknesses and the audiences found him super boring because how could anybody fight a superhero with no weakness? So the creators created Krypton, which could hurt Superman but not humans. And suddenly it added a whole tension and a whole new factor to Superman, which increased the fans and the viewership incredibly. And through his hard work and determination, again, he deserves all of it. Victor's kind of made himself into that original Superman who currently has no opponent strong enough to even come anywhere close. So I feel like the original fans, like, why should I even watch? And he's kind of made all of men's singles boring because why should I watch the lower levels? Why should I watch the quarterfinals, semifinals? Because whoever's going to play Victor is just going to lose and lose by a lot. I personally, as a huge badminton fan, have lost interest in men's singles, and I can't see how it would attract new people, new eyeballs to the sport as well, if it can't even attract me, a super fan. And I know that sounds a little harsh. I'm not saying that Victor should stop being so good and that he should stop training so he can go down to the level of the other men's singles. Obviously, the best result would be to have several men's players rise to his level. And I do think Victor is trying to do that with his Dubai training camp. It's international and he gets like the best people that can challenge him. And it seems like the people that do participate with him are improving a lot. I don't feel like he's, you know, being a snob or trying to keep people out, but the result is He's just so ahead of everybody that no one can seriously challenge him now. And I fully have faith in him and his excellence that he will continue to dominate for some time. I mean, come on. He had 2 kids and got married, which is the most distracting thing in anyone's life. And he didn't become weaker from it. He actually became a stronger player. So I feel like there's kind of nothing that will knock him out aside from, you know, an injury or illness. And even then, I feel like he would come back strong from it. So I think his dominance is kind of hurting the sport. I think it's not attracting more people, more views, more eyeballs, more players. But that's just my opinion. So tell me what you think in the comments below and let's get this conversation started. And if Victor is somehow watching this, know that I'm not bagging on you or suggesting that you change your gameplay in any way. Your rise to the top has been inspirational. It's been amazing. It might be paradigm shifting with these new kind of training camps that you come up with. I truly wish nothing for the best of you, and I hope your massive winning streak continues. I just won't be watching while it does. Okay, that's it. See you guys next time on the court. Bye.